Alright, guys, so in this story, I want to go back to a couple of weeks ago at New York Toy Fair. You had McFarlane there, and we've looked at it before, but a guy interviewed McFarlane, and a lot of people didn't talk about this, so I kind of wanted to just bring it up, just for the just to analyze it a little bit. And he brought up to McFarlane the fact that Hasbro Marvel Legends was doing a Maximum Spider-Man based on McFarlane's 90s artwork. Let's take a look at it real quick here.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you, I wasn't sure if you had a chance to see it yet, but the team over at Hasbro, they put out a new Spider-Man based on the '90s art of yours truly. It's their maximum. They're calling it their maximum Marvel Legends line. It's like a new sub line, some additional articulation. You can really get him bent into those crazy inhuman poses. But I wasn't sure if you had a chance to see it yet. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They did a good job.
I know that years ago
paying tribute.
Yeah, I know years ago they tried to do one, and Spider-Man's always interesting because, and I've seen it with a lot of articulation because he doesn't look like Iron Man or something where you can hide a lot of the cuts, right? So you can put him into cool poses, but if he's not in like a cool pose, because there's so many cuts, you have to, it doesn't look cool to me, right? It's just like it looks sort of wonky. So it has to be in a cool pose to pull it off.
Now you can see McFarlane's reaction, of course, him saying that he had no idea, he's oblivious to the fact that they're making a version of Spider-Man inspired by his 90s artwork. Now, what I wanted to bring up is that I've seen different takes on this, of course, because, a lot of people say that this is based on McFarlane's artwork from the 90s. People will just bring it up randomly while talking about the Maximum Spider-Man. But the other side is that some people say that this isn't necessarily McFarlane's artwork. Some people say it is based on Mark Bagley or Eric Larson, which, I mean, in all honesty, that's like when you say, Mom, can we get some McFarlane? And she says that we have McFarlane at home because those guys really continued the legacy of McFarlane. Now, I'm not sure if McFarlane inspired them or if they had directions coming straight from Marvel saying to kind of emulate, McFarlane's style. I know that Eric Larson is the one that made Venom into that, long tongue, slimy mouth, creature that he ended up becoming, which is a look that people more associate with Venom in, the new era. Although McFarlane never drew him like that, he kind of kept him in a more simpler form. Right? I think I've even heard McFarlane say that he wished he would have thought of it, giving him that long tongue. And of course, you have Mark Bagley, who once again kind of replicates the McFarlane style, although in a lesser form. I think he's the one that won the pencils job from Marvel. He's the one that won that contest for the How to Draw Marvel contest where you sent in your artwork. I'm pretty sure he's the one that won that contest. So although it doesn't seem as though Hasbro is directly pointing that this is McFarlane's artwork, they did do the unmasked head sculpt and the alternate heads that, like I've said before, I'm never going to buy a Spider-Man that is based on McFarlane's artwork until McFarlane makes one. I do have my classic Toy Biz Spider-Man that is very representative of McFarlane's artwork, and for me, that is my go-to McFarlane Spider-Man. But I just thought it was very interesting. McFarlane's reaction seemed to be a little bit nonchalant. Like he didn't obviously get all, outraged, but you could see the gears rotating in his head, thinking, really? They made a Spider-Man based on my artwork, which, as I said, could be or couldn't be necessarily true. I'm sure if you went to Hasbro, the Marvel Legends guy, they would say, no, that's not based on McFarlane. But it's kind of interesting that a lot of collectors and a lot of people waiting for this Ultimate Spider-Man seem to always reference it as the McFarlane Spider-Man. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think down below. Catch you guys on the next one.